Okay.
Okay, right, so we're just going to work through the finishers. First one we're going to do is all the shoulder finishers, and then we'll do the hip finishers, and then other wee bits and pieces from the body of the session, okay? So the first exercise for the shoulder is shoulder drops. So for this, you're going to be on all fours. You can have your hands out reasonably wide, okay? And you definitely, for this one, you need your fingers pointing out to the side. You can't do it like that, you've got to be out there, okay? And then you stay over the line of your hands, and then you just gently turn and drop one shoulder down to the ground, and then to the other side, okay? Ideally, you want to try and keep your off arm, this arm, as straight as you can, and it keeps the stretch on. If you do that, it takes the stretch away. You get down closer to the ground, but you're not really getting as much out of it, okay? Now the arm's going to want to bend a little bit, but just try and keep the shoulder, you know, one shoulder's going down to the ground, and you want to try and keep the other shoulder up and away from the ground, okay? And that's just going to be for certain, for the set time, and then change, okay? Elbow point downs. Now I don't have the squat rack and the bar and everything, but basically you're just going to have the 20 kilo bar, just set on the rack like you would for a squat. Just going to have people unrack and step back. Now the problem people have with their shoulders is they're tight, so the elbows point back. So keeping the bar on their shoulders, we're just going to get them to maintain good posture, and then just point the elbows down, keeping the bar in position, okay? And then relax out of it, because it's quite a strength move too. Rotate and point the elbows down, okay? So you'll see a lot of people squatting like this. We need to get them out of that. We need to work on the mobility and the strength to point the elbows down, okay? Over and back, so the bands, just as we've done before, but because we're doing it as a mobility exercise, you're going to be getting them to creep in a little bit and work a little bit harder, but not so far that the elbows start to bend. That's no use, okay? Next one is shoulder extensions. Now we use the foam roller, but it's not really a foam rolling exercise, it's just to give us a bit of leverage. Okay, so wrists over, you want your hands quite wide for this one, so as wide as you can get them on the roller. Okay, arms straight, and then all you're going to do is just sink your forehead down to the ground. You feel the stretch through the shoulder, okay? Now some people won't be able to do that, but again you just take it as far as you can, okay? Once you can get your forehead onto the ground, you can just move the stretch through the joint, just by rolling back and forward, just trailing your nose, your forehead along the ground, okay? You feel that one up in the shoulder, but you feel it down the lats a little bit as well. And shoulder folds, okay? So shoulder folds are the exact opposite of the shoulder drop, okay? So what we do is we lie with your arm underneath you, and then all we're looking to do is squeeze this shoulder down to this arm, okay? Down to there, and it's just a passive stretch, and you just hold it nice and gentle. You feel the stretch around the outside of the shoulder, okay? Right, so that's all the shoulder ones, okay? So for the hips, okay? First one's fire hydrants, we've done that before, but let's go over it again, okay? So you push back, and then knee really high, round, and then back. Make sure they're nice and deliberate with that nice high knee, and then back. If they're just doing this kind of thing, they're not really getting enough out of it, okay? One side, then the other, okay? Glute roll, which we've done before many times. Just sitting on the roller, up there, just back and forward. Looking for any little tender tight points, just work on them, okay? Single hamstring stretch, we're going to use the 40cm box for this. You put a few pads on it, make it comfy, okay? You're going to be sitting quite near the edge of the box. One leg bent, foot flat on the floor, other leg reached in front of you a little bit. Now we want to keep a slight bend in the knee. If you lock your knee out, then the stretch goes right to the back of the knee, and we want to stretch the hamstring, the back of the thigh, so keep the knee a little bit bent. Makes it easier to do that. And then all you do is you lean forward into the stretch. You're trying to get your chin to your knee, okay? Now because you're stretching it, it's going to want to rise up a little bit, so you just keep your arm on the knee, a little bit of pressure to hold it in position. Just go to the point, excuse me, the point of the stretch, and hold, and come out, switch, and go to the other side, okay? Right, so next one is the kneeling single groin stretch, okay? I'll demonstrate it this way. Okay, so you set up like you're going to do a Superman, and then you just put one foot all the way out to the side. Okay, now the key here is if you sit back it comes off the ground a little bit and goes onto the hamstring sometimes. Okay, I find it stays on the ground much better if you keep your weight forwards on your hands, and you're just going to go into that position and then hold that. You should feel it right down the inside of the thigh. Okay, and obviously to increase the stretch, the foot just goes a little bit further away. Okay, and then a little bit further away. But again, you just want people to stretch to the point where they feel it, not beyond that. Okay. Going to stretch your lying knee to chest. Nice simple exercise. Okay, but it has to be knee to chest. Okay, so grabbing up the knee, back of the head stays on the ground, and you pull the knee up to the chest. If you want to grip onto the shin, you can. You can have people play around with different grips, because if you grip that way with your near hand on your knee, then you tend to pull up and out a little bit more, which is fine. If you grip your off hand onto the knee, then you tend to pull in front of the body, which is fine. Okay, if you grip both over, more just a straight up movement. But you're just going to go and hold for your 50 seconds and switch and do the other side. Okay, so I think that's all the finishers. Okay, and it's 50 seconds, 10 seconds to change. You do each one twice, then you move on. Okay, and it's the same for shoulder and hip. Okay, now just from the other stuff, deadlift, press ups and pull ups. The press ups, some guys are going to get on the weighted press ups. Some women are going to be still working on getting down to parallel press ups, but you just work people at the level they're at. For the metabolic strength circuit, goblet squat, pull up ups we've done, 2 box dips we did last month. Isometric side band press. It's exactly the same as a side band press, but you know, if you hook it up shoulder height and you pull out, instead of doing reps like that with the band, all you do is you lock it out, and this one's for time, so you hold it for your 30 seconds, and then you relax, and then you turn around, and then 15 seconds, and then you go another 30 seconds on that side. Okay. Keg clean and push press. It's just, you know, any sort of clean and press movement. Okay. Make sure people are standing right over the top of the keg. You don't want the keg out in front of them, because if the keg's out in front of them, when they clean it up, they're pulling it back onto themselves and they'll lose balance. Okay, so you want to be right over the top of the keg, and you want to pull the keg up, catch it, gather yourself, and then just a little push press to finish. Okay, it's just continuous reps. For the core brace circuit, TikToks with the keg, just a little small movement. Ceiling's a little bit low here, so you've got to be careful. So it's basically just hand over your head, hand over your head. Okay, you're not looking for hip movement, you want the body to stay still, the arms are the only thing that should move. Reclined band twists. Okay, this is just going to be a resistance band. You're going to hook it onto a low point. Okay, this isn't solid enough to do it on. Okay, but if you just visualise, you're going to work your way out till you've got tension in the band before you pull it, and then from there, with a slight lean back, you're just going to pull to the midpoint and then return. Okay, pull to the midpoint and then return. So you do need a little bit of tension in the band here. It can't be hanging slack, they need to move out a little bit. Okay, but we're not looking to go all the way around here, because that just throws people off balance and confuses them, spoils the movement. Swiss ball plank is just a plank, feet on the ground, forearms on the Swiss ball, keeping the core nice and still, and then rest. So on the metabolic strength circuit, there's no rest period. It's 5 exercises and they go around it 3 times. With the abdominal brace circuit, it's 45 seconds work, 15 seconds to move on, but they get a 45-second rest period. They go around that 3 times. Yeah, on the CP medley, we want it to be sprint, low handles out, sprint, high handles back, straight in, 5 burpees as high as you can, and then straight on the T handle for 8 reps. Okay, we don't want, well, I got to the T handle but somebody's still using it. Okay, so you need to make sure that they're giving themselves enough room before they go. We're not keeping track of that one, we're not marking it up on the board. I just want people to work continuously. Keep the slide empty for maximum speed. Anything else? On the circuits, anything where there's an option for goblet squat or keg clean and press, put out 3 different weights, like a low, a medium and a high, so people can self-select their intensity. Everything else is self-selected. Yeah, okay, I'll try and get this uploaded, and hopefully you get on well with it. Okay.